My wife discovered the photos from the weekend I spent with another woman. She didn't yell. She just looked at me, her eyes red but dry. You killed every promise we made, she said, her voice steady and cold. She turned and left without another word, but I knew. The silence she left behind was only the beginning. Welcome to Cheat Sheet Tales, where loyalty dies, lies bleed out, and the truth hits like a slap to the face. These aren't just stories, they're confessions soaked in betrayal and regret. Ever spotted a red flag when it was already too late? Say it in the comments. Let's tear into today's tale. My name's Ethan. I'm 41 years old, from Rochester, New York. I've been married to Claire since I was 24. We met in college. She was serious, steady, the kind of person who followed through. I was the opposite. Messy, impulsive. But I made her laugh. Somehow we worked. We have one daughter, Leela. She's 14 now, smart, sensitive, closer to her mom than me. But we always had a quiet understanding, at least. Used to. For the last few years, life started to feel more like a routine than a marriage. Claire's a nurse. She works in cardiac care. Long hours, high stress. I'm in real estate. My schedule's flexible, which sounds good, but it means I spend a lot of time alone, or pretending to be busy. We still loved each other, I think, but the spark was gone. And instead of trying to fix it, I let the distance grow. Last October, Claire picked up extra shifts for a hospital training program. More money, more hours. She was gone most nights, and when she was home, she was exhausted. I was starting to feel invisible. That's when I met Sabrina. She came to one of my open houses. She was looking for a place. After her divorce, late 30s, good-looking, confident, sarcastic, we talked more than we should have. She texted me that night with questions about the property, but the texts turned personal fast. She flirted. I flirted back at first. I told myself it was harmless. It's just words. Then we started meeting for coffee, then drinks. I lied to Claire and said I had late showings or last-minute clients. The rush made me feel wanted again, needed like I was still. Interesting, Claire had a weekend training coming up in Syracuse. She left Friday afternoon. Lila had already planned a sleepover at my sister's house that night. I was alone. Sabrina texted me around 9 p.m., still up. I told her to come over instead. We got a hotel room. I didn't even hesitate that night. Everything changed. I crossed the line completely. I didn't feel guilt then. Not really, just adrenaline. The next morning, I took pictures. Not nudes, but close, her lying in bed, laughing, a mere selfie of us. Half-dash dressed. I don't even know why. I never planned to show anyone. It was like I needed proof that I could still attract someone, that someone else still wanted me. Claire came back late. Sunday night, I kissed her on the cheek and asked about her training. She smiled. Told me about a speaker who was kind of full of himself. I nodded like cared. But my mind was still in that hotel room. The following weeks were heavy. I couldn't sleep right. I was either too hot or too cold. Claire kept trying to connect, offering to cook together, suggesting we take a short trip, even just the two of us. I said work was too crazy. Then one Thursday evening, I came home and saw her sitting at the kitchen table. My old iPad was in front of her. I hadn't used that thing in months. She had it open on the Photos app. She didn't say anything at first, just turned the screen so I could see, and there they were, the photos from that weekend. My stomach dropped. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I didn't know this still synced, she said quietly. I was looking for some pictures of Leela from last year. I didn't say a word. I see. Oh, she stood up. Her eyes were red, but dry. No tears, just that quiet, steady pain. You killed every promise we made, she said. Her voice didn't break. It didn't rise. It was flat cold. She walked past me, went upstairs. I followed a few minutes later, but I didn't go in the room. I just sat on the bottom step, staring at the wall. A few minutes later, she came back down with her old gym duffel, She didn't look at me. She walked out the front door. That silence she left behind. It still hasn't gone away. The house was too quiet after Claire left it. It was like every sound had been drained from the walls. I sat on the edge of the couch, just staring at the iPad. I didn't even lock the front door. I didn't move for a long time. When Lila came home, Sunday night, she noticed something was off right away. "Where's Mom?" I froze. I didn't have a lie ready. I looked at her and said, she needed space for a few days. Maddie's eyes narrowed. "Did you guys fight?" I nodded slowly. She didn't say anything else, just went to her room, shut the door. I heard music start playing low through the wall. The next morning, I texted Claire, no response. I called her during lunch, straight to voicemail. I tried again that evening, nothing. I didn't even know where she'd gone by Tuesday. I couldn't take it anymore. I drove to her sister's house, 20 minutes away. In Irondequoit, Claire's car was in the driveway. I knocked. Her sister Paige answered. She looked at me like I'd stepped in, dog. "She doesn't want to see you," Paige said, blocking the doorway. "Please," I said. "Just 5 minutes." She saw the photos. "Ethan, I saw them too. Don, to come here again." Then she shut the door in my face. I stood there for a while before getting back in the car. When I got home, Lila was at the kitchen table doing homework. She didn't look up when I came in. "She's staying at Aunt Paige, right?" I nodded. "Why?" I didn't want to lie to her, but I didn't know how to tell her the truth. I said I made a mistake. A big one. She looked at me for a long time, then said, "You cheated on her." I froze. "How do you know that?" She turned her laptop around. My iMessages had been open on the old iPad. She'd seen them. I felt like throwing up. She stood up and walked out of the room, didn't say another word, didn't slam the door, just left me sitting there like a ghost. "She's divorcing," Sabrina said before leaving. "You don't even have the balls to clean up your own mess." That night, found all my clothes thrown in a trash bag and left on the front step of Paige's house, a note taped to it. "Don't come back ever." Claire had blocked me on everything. The next week, I found out through my attorney that she was going to file for alimony on top of child support, and I'd just lost 2 listings at work because the sellers Googled my name and found a Reddit post. Someone, probably Paige, had posted my cheating story in a local Rochester Reddit thread. Didn't use my full name, but it was detailed enough. People figured it out. Comments were brutal. One said, "Typical real estate creep, probably hooks. Up with clients all the time, hope his daughter never forgives him." I wanted to scream. I wanted to go back in time, but all I could do was sit in my empty house, in silence, and wait for the next blow. After the Reddit post blew up, things started spiraling faster than I could keep up. My broker called me into his office that Friday. I already knew what it was about before I even sat down. He didn't beat around the bush. "Look, Ethan, this whole situation is hurting the office. 2 clients called in. They don't feel comfortable working with you anymore." I nodded. "I get it. I'm not firing you," he said, "but I'm taking you off any new leads. You'll keep what you have, but that's it for now. Lay low. Get your personal stuff sorted." He meant well, but it still felt like a punch. I left without saying much. Just drove home to the house that barely felt like mine anymore. The next few days were a blur of calls with lawyers, ignored texts to Claire, and court forms piling up on the kitchen counter. I kept replaying it all. That hotel room, the photos, the way Claire didn't even yell. Just left. I used to think yelling meant someone still cared. Silence. Silence meant it was already over. One night, I drank too much and tried calling her again, straight to voicemail, so I left a message. Slurred, pathetic. "I'm sorry. I know I broke everything. I just want to see Lila, please." I regretted it the second I hung up the next morning. I got a formal notice through the attorney's office. All communication must go. Through legal representation, Claire had officially shut the door. That week, I also got my first supervised visitation with Lila. It was held in a small counseling center just outside of Henrietta. Beige walls, old couch, A. Therapist named Lenora, sitting off to the side with a clipboard. Leela walked in wearing a hoodie and didn't hug me. She sat across the room. "Hi," I said. She didn't respond. "How's school?" She looked past me. Lenora cleared her throat. "Lila, anything you'd like to say to your dad?" She finally spoke. "Why did you do it?" It felt like the oxygen got sucked out of the room. I couldn't lie. Not to her. I was stupid selfish. "I hurt your mom. I hurt you. I don't have a good reason. I just thought I was wrong." She stared at me. "You ruined everything. I don't even know who you are anymore." I nodded. "I don't either." The rest of the session was quiet. The following week, I went to my first therapy session. Not because anyone forced me. I just couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't stop thinking about how fast everything had collapsed. I told the therapist, a middle-aged guy named Dr. Penn, that I used to think cheating was a mistake someone made in the heat of the moment. But it wasn't heat of the moment, I admitted. It was planned. I knew what I was doing. I just didn't care enough to stop. Dr. Penn said something I'll never forget. "You cared more about the attention than the consequences." Yeah, that was exactly it. I wasn't in love with Sabrina. I didn't want a divorce. I wanted to feel wanted. That was it. That's all it took to burn my family to the ground. Now, I'm living in a one-bedroom rental across town, the house we used to live in. Claire listed it with another agent. It sold fast. I wasn't even allowed to go back to pack. Paige and Claire boxed up my things and had them delivered. I got a cardboard box labeled kitchen, another labeled bathroom. That was it. No notes, no photos, nothing personal even. Maddie's drawings from when she was little, gone. Every trace of my life with them was scrubbed. Even my mom, who always defended me, said, "You really blew it, Ethan." I don't even know what to say to Claire. I lost her respect too. And yet, there's more fallout still to come. Because Sabrina, she wasn't done yet. 2 weeks ago, I got a message on LinkedIn from one of my old clients. It said, "Your girlfriend's leaving reviews on your listings. Thought you should know." Sure enough, Sabrina had started leaving one-star reviews on multiple real estate sites under different usernames. Same theme in each. One, unprofessional. Talks about his personal life too much. Don't trust him. I knew. It was her. The language was too familiar. She didn't take being ghosted well. And maybe she thought I deserved it. Maybe she was right. But now, not just a divorced dad who cheated. I'm a public failure. The kind people whisper about him. Meetings. That's the guy. And Lila still won't speak to me. Next court date's coming soon. They're deciding custody officially. I already know the outcome, but I'm going to show up, even if I don't get to talk, even if she doesn't look at me. I'll sit there because showing up, is all I have left. The final custody hearing was in early April. The courtroom was cold, impersonal rows of chairs, pale lighting, that old wood smell. Claire sat across from me with her attorney.com, composed. She never once looked in my direction. My own lawyer kept reminding me, "Stay quiet. Let me do the talking." But I wasn't there to fight. Not anymore. Lila didn't come. They said it was better that way. Too hard on the kid. I agreed. The judge reviewed everything: my affair, the supervised visits, the counselor's report, Maddie's. Words were in there too. She'd written a statement: "I don't feel safe with my dad emotionally. I don't want to stay with him or talk to him right now. Maybe in the future, but not now." That line, "maybe in the future," was the only thing that kept me upright in that chair. The judge granted full legal and physical custody to Claire. I got supervised visits once a month and phone calls. If Lila requested them, I nodded. I didn't fight it. I knew I didn't deserve more after court. I walked out alone. Claire and her lawyer got into a silver SUV and drove off. I stood on the sidewalk in my suit, watching cars pass like nothing had happened. I didn't go back to work that day. I didn't even go home. I drove to the lake, parked, and just sat there in silence. For hours, no music, no phone, just me. That's where my life lives now. In the silence. I still go to therapy every week. Dr. Penn asked me last session, "What's the hardest part right now?" I told him, "It's not being hated. It's not being ignored. It's knowing I earned both." He nodded. Didn't say anything else. Just let it sit. My job is hanging on by a thread. I closed one deal last month, barely. My name's still out there, and the online trash hasn't disappeared. People remember Sabrina, eventually stopped harassing me online. I think she just got bored. Or maybe she moved on. Either way, haven't heard from her in months. I think about Leela every day. I text her once a week. Just hope you're okay. I love you. She hasn't responded in 3 months. Not even once. Her birthday's next week. She's turning 15. I bought her a card and a gift, dropped it off at Paige's doorstep. I didn't ring the bell. I don't expect a thank you. I just want her to know I didn't forget. Claire still hasn't spoken to me. Every message goes through the lawyer. Clean, formal, distant. She's moved on. She looks healthier, happier. She deserved that. I, on the other hand, live in a 1-bedroom apartment that smells like cheap paint and regret. I've lost. It's 20 lbs. Not from trying, just from forgetting to eat. Sometimes I wake up and forget I'm alone now. I reach across the bed instinctively. It's always cold. I don't date. Don't flirt. I don't even think about it. What I want isn't sex or attention anymore. I want time back. But I don't get that. No one does. So here I am telling this story. Not for sympathy, and definitely not for forgiveness. I cheated. I lied. I broke the people who trusted me most. And the truth is, the silence they left behind. It's louder than any fight. It follows me everywhere, and I earned every second of it.